Hello and welcome to Body in the City Goes Digital. My name is Jasmine, and today I have a good friend of mine, Miles, the New Age Healer. Hi, Miles.
Hello. So I guess I'll introduce myself.
Please.
It's not a problem. So my name is Miles. Currently I do energy healing. My own mix of things, energy vibrational healing, consists of Reiki, energy healing, sound healing.
Amazing.
We will be here forever if we talk about the different modalities, but that's just the base. So that's I wouldn't say me as a whole, but based on what we're going with this, that's me for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I always, on our show, I do like a little bio.
Yeah.
Not a bio, more like an excerpt about you.
Yeah.
So I'll read what I put together. So obviously we've welcomed you. And as you've said, you're a energy vibrational healing specialist and Reiki master practitioner. I got it right.
Yeah.
And you're renowned for your healing work and your empathetic approach to healing of clients all over the globe.
Empathetic sometimes.
Empathetic sometimes. I know what you're like, so it's definitely sometimes. And I know you mix a blend of meditation, ancestral healing, like you said, Reiki, nutritional counselling, and you kind of promote like a balanced lifestyle.
Yeah.
You've got this diverse kind of clientele ranging from everyday people to celebrities, and you kind of offer both physical and digital sessions of emotional and spiritual health. Yeah? Amazing. I hope I got it all right.
No, that was
at least some of it.
That was good. That was good.
I'm
that was
really
great.
happy you're here.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here as well.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I feel like you and I, we have this friendship where we don't speak for ages.
Yeah.
And then we just speak for ages, and then we go missing, and then like a whole life happens, and then we come back and pick up where we left off.
Exactly.
So it's good to have you here.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for even having me. Because I'm just a normal person amongst normal people. Nothing I do is very special because we all have the ability to self-heal. So it's not really about me actually offering healing to anyone. It's about me giving them the tools to heal themselves.
Okay.
Because sometimes people get stuck in the fact like, okay, Miles, you do energy healing, so I'm gonna put the power in your hand.
Okay.
I'm not your creator. We all have the power ourselves. It's just about me giving you the correct tools to use them to begin your journey, self-heal, and I'm just guiding you from behind. Like I'm like your shadow. So sometimes some of us get lost in the dark, sometimes we can get lost in the light. So it's just about putting the person on that path so they can get to where they're going to fulfill their overall goal of health.
Would you say that your work ties in with like manifestations? Like, is it similar?
Big time. It's you are what you think you are, because the reality of it is this. Like, let's touch on like school education. Now, the idea of education is that, we go through school, we get grades, we move on to higher education. But the idea is this: if we started school with, let's say, I don't know, a report book or a report card, and we sat down and we said to ourselves, okay, cool. As a child, I want to get certain grades, A's, B's, C's, whatever you want to do. And I want to solely focus on getting that, on how I'm going to get that. Everything starts to pull itself in from outside.
So you're basically saying like, if we taught our children to set this expectation of their end result from the jump, they're almost bringing that in as opposed to just doing it and hoping for the best.
Exactly.
Right.
Because if you channel set energy for set things, you're going to get a greater result if you don't channel energy. We have this idea that let's just go through life,
What happens.
Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah.
The reality is that, let's be our own Jesus. Let's be our own creator of what we want to create.
Of our own
because
destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, then where you're trying to get to won't happen.
I hear that.
So everything is one big manifestation. Like, I always use this thing where I break words down, like manifestation. May I fester, or may I sit in the energy I want to create? If I sit in the energy I want to create, I'm more likely to create
to get there.
Exactly.
And as well, like, I think it's a lot about almost imagining you already have that thing you're trying to draw towards you. I know people would know that with manifesting and like affirmations, etc. But if you really put yourself in that, not just like, oh, I want to be this one day, I want to be that one day, but if you like, you wake up and you put yourself in that space, I feel it. Like, you feel the energy, you feel the wind blowing through your hair because you want to be on a yacht somewhere. If you actually like visualize it as if it's already happened, that does something. It clicks. It allows like what you're calling for to kind of come into your life because you're already speaking
Exactly.
it into existence.
Exactly. It's like our thoughts control our feelings, and our feelings control our actions. So if you can control the thought you have, then you can control how you feel, and then you can give a direction of where you want to go. But a lot of us, we don't do that, and we're just we look around, sit there, and think. Well, the reality is you can get to wherever you want to go, like you just said.
I mean, it's easier said than done. There's a lot of people out there who've been like striving. For those who've been like actively working to get where they want to go to, and say they've been met with lots of resistance or a brick wall, what would then be your advice to them? Would you be like, okay, well, just change your mindset, it's fine, just you're not doing it right? There's like people out there that are hard grafting for the things they want or trying to get well and doing everything under the sun who are just not getting anywhere. What would then be your advice to them?
First, figure out who you are. A lot of us, we navigate through life, not really know who we are.
Right.
We just think, all right, someone said to me, who are you? My response in society would be Miles, but that's the name I've been given. If I sit down and understand who I am as a whole, then I can understand where I'm going.
Okay.
I know sitting down with myself, okay, I tend to just be honest. If you ask me something, I just have to say it how it is, because sometimes we get caught in this crossfire where we're caught up in energy, having conversations with people. Oh, like, had a great day today. Da-da-da, I did this, I did that. You say you had a great day. Oh yeah, I did this, I did that. So let's have great days together. When you're free, it's like, whoa, relax. Let's go on when we're free, when we get to that day of the freedom, opposed to just saying it and just
planning it ahead of time, but like before it even comes.
Exactly. So I'd say to people, understand who you are as an individual. Understand, okay, are you someone that can work hard? Are you someone that doesn't work hard and get what you want? Are you someone that doesn't like to work hard? Are you someone that doesn't even believe in working hard? Or do you know you work hard? You have to understand who you are.
A lot of people don't believe they are even able to produce good things, or they don't believe they're deserving. I know some people, they're like, they might not say it out loud, but a lot of people not a lot of people, but there are people in situations that refuse to help themselves get out of that situation because they might not necessarily believe they deserve the situation. It can be anything from like a job you're in, a relationship you're in, a situation, and they've just like come to accept it. Oh, this is my reality. This is my life. This just must be my destiny and fate. And I think that can be sad sometimes because sometimes other people see the potential in somebody, but it's hard for them to see it in themselves.
That's a big fact because people I work with, they're always like, all right, Miles, I've gone through this in my life, you know, in my past, in my present. I'm going through something now. Their idea is that they believe that they're going to end up in a certain place because of how their life started out. So far, like, I'll use me an example because I can only speak on myself. Ideally, where I was brought up, how I was brought up, a lot of factors would play in my life. And technically, we shouldn't really be here having this conversation. So the idea is that you've been given a deck of cards and you can reshuffle it any time. So I have to explain to people where you was builds the character of who you are today. But just think of it as like this. Use that as a power to push through to where you want to get to. So we are always deserving of what we put our time into. But I always have to remind people, put your time into something. When you put your time into something, you achieve something. So it's not that you're not deserving, but if you put the time into it, you should
see the result.
Really see the result.
You're really feeling for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's a nice way. Well, amazing start to the conversation. I think as well, like, I want to like bring it back and talk more about you and obviously how you got here. I know we've had many hours of conversations about just how it all began, but just for our audience and stuff, maybe share with them like how your journey started. Like, when did you discover that you had this power to quote unquote heal? That's what it is, like, to assist people in their healing. When did you learn that you had that power?
I'd say I'll give you a background of my life, where I came from. We'll just walk through. So I'd say at age 4 or 5, I've said this so many times, so it's nothing new, but it's different platform, you know. So I'm gonna say the story, I'm gonna amp it up a bit, make it sound good, but it's the truth. So I'd say when I was like 4 or 5, my mum passed away. I don't exactly know the specific age, but 4 or 5. No, happens, life. So it's like from there you've been given this ultimatum. So it's like, okay, mum passed away at 4/5. the idea is that I could look at life and say, you know, why has this happened to me? What is this happened to me for? What am I trying to achieve from this? So I go through life, continue to move. You get involved in certain aspects because your environment.
Yeah.
So it's no one's fault, but
Yeah.
you can be a product of your environment, depending on the environment. End up in this life, end up in jail. So I see it as, okay, cool. My thing is always, why am I here? What is this trying to show me, this energy we sit in?
Yeah.
But obviously at the time, I'm 4 or 5, I'm not saying what is the energy trying to show me. I'm like,
Going through it.
okay, like, you know, what's going on
What's
here?
next? Yeah.
And you grow up in a household where, not saying my household was bad because it was good. I had a roof over my head, had food in the fridge.
Yeah.
But we tend to fabricate things and think, oh, I grew up like this, no mum and went. It's not that bad. You know, it's what is meant to happen for me.
Yeah.
And I can think of a way to get out of it and make it better. So jail, had enough time to reflect and think, why am I here? You start looking around and realizing where you are, and you start saying, okay, cool. It's a time for reflection. So, you know, I'm in a cell, like my arms
No way.
touch the
And you've
wall.
got long arms.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then, like, you know, I got enough space to do press ups.
Wow.
And then I'm like, okay, so I'm here. So what do I need to do?
Yeah.
And it's downtime.
Okay.
You know, like, let's bring IT into the mix. You have a system and it's like, okay, if an application is being introduced into a new system, there's downtime. Is there going to be any time that the application is out? So that was my downtime.
Right.
My downtime from road,
interesting.
from life,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
living. So I'm down at this moment. So I'm thinking, how can I bring myself back up? But I
Better
found
as well.
exactly
Yeah.
a sense of like, not like I did find a sense of peace because I was able to address certain things that I hadn't addressed with myself. Why did I do this? Why did I get like this? How did this happen?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to find myself here again. When I was able to go through the time of reflection and reflect, I said, okay, so you're playing a game of chess, you make that move, you end up here. So there's no way I can change the past, but I can change the present.
Yeah.
So in that space and time, I always thought, I always want to do better for myself. I don't want to keep doing what I was doing to get the same result. And it's like, okay, so I thought to myself, okay, cool. So I come out of jail. Remember my sister, she was like into this energy stuff because my older sister, always trying to
I remember you
find,
telling me that.
yeah, find herself. And
Yeah.
one minute she's a Christian, then she's a Jew,
Yeah.
not Jew, but Muslim. She's bounced around in many religions and explored.
What works for her.
And I've just kind of shadowed her life, just watched. I'm not gonna, because it's not my life, but
Yeah.
if you can do something, I can learn from it. So I'm gonna let you do it and you tell me the impact and I'm gonna take what I can and I'm gonna go better it for myself.
Fair.
So she came across someone in the arts of like healing and energy healing and readings and, you know, like spiritual readings. And I thought, oh, that would be like, cool. Could I walk through a wall at some point? I'm not going to say I have, but I'm not going to say it's not possible. So in that sense, she puts me in touch with a woman.
Yeah.
Had a little like reading with her.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I did that. And I was in like early 20s. And she explained how my life was without me knowing her.
Wow.
I said, you know, when you sit there like,
Myths. Like, how do you know these things?
so I'm thinking, I messaged my sister and asked, did you tell me about this moment? But when I was in jail, my sister would always say, no, you'll be fine. Like, you'll come out and things are going to happen for you. And I've always been a big dreamer. Like,
Very vivid.
yeah, like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. This is how I'm getting it.
That kind of dream.
So, and then you think, how can I get this on the right side of life? So, like I say, I spoke to the woman, this, she said that. I said, I want to do that. I
Yeah.
want to do that. Because I believe we're all one of the same,
Okay.
but different to a degree. Doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what background it is. We all come from a greater connection,
Yeah.
but we're just having expressions of that
Nice.
connection. So that was
Let's say that
my...
again. We're all from the same source.
Oh, I can't remember what I said that,
We're all
but it
from
was
the
good.
Same source, but we're all different
Yeah.
expressions of that source.
Exactly.
Nice.
So I say, okay, like if you look at it like rays of light from the sun,
Yeah.
depending on what angle you look, that ray of light might be green or it might be red or it might be blue, but it comes from that source.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's the same. So I say, cool. If you can do that, I can. So she starts teaching me, expands my awareness.
Yeah.
Because I had awareness of the physical me, but there's also different parts to me. Internal, the greater external, the consciousness, the subconscious awareness.
Yeah.
We can go back and forth and start naming names, but we don't need to do that. So I'll keep it layman terms. So I started to understand, like, okay, cool, how you can pick up energy and read people. First, we have the physical. You can tell when someone's uncomfortable with something you say. So you can generally read what they're saying from their body language.
Right.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm open to talk about it.
Yeah.
Confused. You know? So it's that whole reading people in a physical sense. Then you've got like the emotional sense, how their body reacts to the movement of energy. So the words you're saying, you know, just, you grew up like single parent household. You can tell.
Yeah, they're uncomfortable. You're
exactly.
Not ready to have the conversation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then you got the mental and spiritual side to it. Literally reading their internal thoughts. And a lot of people don't realize, but we're truthful without even saying it.
Okay.
You can tell someone's lying by the way their face moves. So if I can pick that up energetically, they're going to be sharing that connection out of their mind, and I can connect to that because, like I said, we're all the same but different to a degree. So from that, I started practicing readings. Did like a little phone line. People call, oh, Miles, I'm going through this, and because they're open about speaking it, I'm picking up more.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, look, this, that, and the other, and they're like, oh my God, you're great. I'm thinking, no, you're great because you're allowing yourself.
You gave me what you needed to
exactly.
say.
You're allowing yourself to express it.
Yeah.
But now I'm picking up the energy of the expression. So I'm adding some bits that you may have missed out, and then we've got the whole picture.
No.
So we got the frame and everything, and we got the back piece and the glass and put it together. So I can say, okay, for you, this is your path. From what I pick up, you know, if you go down that route, it will generally work for you. If you go down this route, it might not work for you.
Yeah.
So now you've got ultimatum, left or right. What do you want to do?
What do you want to do with that?
9 out of 10 times we want to do better.
Yeah.
But like you said, sometimes we hold into this thing where we don't want to do better because we don't think we deserve it. So it's about me coaching someone mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, how to want and do better for yourself.
Yeah.
And how to get better over time. So whether it's eating, meditation, groundwork, wearing less clothes, like, you know, you lot got, so you can connect better with the earth, you know, because our skin isn't a whole organism.
Yeah.
It receives information and data, how our eyes do, how our nose does, how our ears does. So it's about seeing what works for set people and getting them to say, or me getting them to realize, like, look, if you take this pattern in life, you can get there. And once you're there, you can see how life can be better as a whole.
Amazing.
And then we just throw the meditation in the mix, you know. Be one with self. Like, it's deeper than that.
You're downplaying it, but I know it's a lot deeper than that.
It's a lot deeper than that. It goes really deep.
Yeah.
People.
So, it's almost like you're a master of bringing out somebody's best self, and it's like fine tuning someone. And I feel like not many people have that opportunity to do that in life, like to really sit down with someone like yourself and have them pull out points of interest and help them not see a clear path, but it's almost like a mentor, isn't it? It's like having this person that has their best interest at heart, wants the best for them, and is helping to guide and navigate what they already have going on, but just in a more linear way. Yeah. And I think it's such an undervalued skill, or such an undervalued service that you offer that so many people need, like, you know.
Yeah, because I'd say it's like an art.
Yeah.
Like, I would say I've gone through things in my life. I'm not traumatized by anything. It's like you've got post-traumatic stress, then you've got post-traumatic growth. It's how you react from the reaction.
I've heard that before. Post-traumatic growth.
Yeah, sometimes things just come out of my mouth.
And you just grow from it. For sure. That's dope.
So if I've gone through 9 out of 10 times I've gone through something similar to someone I work with has.
Okay.
Not saying it could be worse than what they have.
Yeah.
Not saying it's on the same level, but similar. So there's similarities. So if I've changed my life for the better, it's very easy for me to do it with someone else. As long as you want to.
Yeah.
Because I can't force it. If you don't want to, I just kind of say, look, go explore other avenues and come back to me. Because I don't, because it's not, I'm not just trying to take your money.
Yeah.
Because it will cost. Yeah. But if you do what you need to do, maybe you can come back that bit better. So when we start the work,
you're ready for it then.
You're ready for it.
Yeah, because that's, like I said, not everyone's ready at that time. It could be like therapy, it could be your service. Some people just need to go like around the block and come back. and then they're in a good place. And that's like with
Exactly.
most things, you know, you're not always ready for something straight away.
Exactly.
You need to learn a bit more.
Yeah.
And then when you're qualified, you come back and you receive the goodness.
Exactly.
So just going back on, I know you mentioned Reiki, one of your services, ancestral healing, and just healing in general. For our viewers who might not know what Reiki is, or maybe have heard the word Reiki, would you mind giving them a brief like overview of what it is, so they have an understanding?
So Reiki is, there's two ways to explain it and to see it. You can have the hands-on Reiki where you're a therapist and you have a client in the room and it's just simply activating the internal energies within yourself, connecting to the external energies outside of yourself, which be the universe, and you channel that energy and you send energy through you as the medium, the vessel, the middleman. You know, you're almost like, you've got a vendor, then you've got, I don't know, someone trying to get a service. You've got the man in the middle, the sales consultant, and he works on both parties. He can communicate to the left or to the right, and you can communicate to the left. That's what I do. Middleman. Energy transfers through my hands to the individual to set points in their physical body where they may be feeling discomfort. They don't feel like they're aligned. And then it can be the non-physical where I can be sending energy to parts of their non-physical life that haven't as of yet happened, but can create an energy to make something greater happen. So, example, if someone is having anxiety from starting a new job, they're like, all right, Miles, there's an anxiety that is creating itself. It hasn't yet manifested, but it's manifesting. I need to change the energy and direct it somewhere else, or change the energy to a great energy that I want that can work in my purpose. So it's about channeling that energy through me to the individual, as long as they receive it. So that's all Reiki is. It's no witchcraft. It's no nothing. Anyone can do it. People that have the best ability to do Reiki is probably kids. They've just come from source.
Pure energy, pure spirit.
That's it.
Amazing. I know as well. Okay, let's go back to Reiki again, just quickly. What's the best environment to have Reiki? Like, is it online? Is it in person? And there's like a hands-on type. To be fair, there's many different types of Reiki. I know we've discussed there's probably like 100 different types. What are the most popular? And is it better to have it in person or is it better to have it virtually? I don't know. Yeah,
I guess the different types of Reiki, you got like Holy Fire, you got Yusui, you got Reiki Touch, you got Angel Reiki. I would say things always work how they should work. I can't say what is the best for everyone, but personally, I would say hands-on. Because sometimes when you're working with someone, they want to just know the individual they're getting that Reiki from is an actual individual.
Right, who knows what they're doing. You can actually sense they know what they're doing.
There are people that you can get online. I can do distant Reiki. Nothing ain't working. Then you see why it's not working, because one, they just make it up. Two, they're not really true to themselves in what they're doing. And three, you just have to be the part in what you're trying to do. Like, you know, when you go to the gym and you see PTs and they're just like not flexible, not agile. You don't have to be the most henchest person. Muscle doesn't mean anything. Strength doesn't have a physique. You can be so strong but be slim. But you want to look apart to use that person as a checkpoint. So sometimes with a lot of practitioners, you can't use them as checkpoints. You see them and you're like, what's going on in your life? Just still an alcoholic. Still smoking from time to time. Life is annoying. You're going to get the transfer of some of that energy. Because the reality is it's also coming from you. So you want to be in an environment, number one, use a practitioner who knows what they're doing. Be in an environment that is clean, tidy. Be mindful of how they approach you, how things are said to you. And you want to just be open-minded to receive good energy. But it's always distant, hands-on. Hands-on, I'd say, is best. Distant is also great. because I can do distant healing
Yeah.
with clients over the phone, online, and they're like, "Yo, Miles, I've done ayahuasca before, and that didn't. I weren't lit like that. I weren't." And I'm like, "Yeah, this
different.
Don't worry."
I think I've done it once. Now I'm like thinking about it. I think I did a type of Reiki, but she used crystals. I think it was like crystal Reiki, perhaps.
Yes.
And again, you have to go in there, like you said, like with an open heart, like an open mind, and be mindful, not to be too dubious, and not trying to be observant of everything that's going on in the room. And I'm that way inclined because I'm a therapist too. I go into a room and I want to see the setup, and I'm probably too analytical off the bat. And even though I received it well, I didn't really, how do I say this? Because it's not anything tangible, but I didn't really feel any different when I went to her. And then I spoke to somebody else who's also a practitioner, and they were like, that's perfectly fine. It may have just been that you just didn't connect with her. Very similar to like having a therapy session. Sometimes you've got to go through a few to know who really connects with you. So it's definitely something I want to try again. But I think the initial one that I did made me realize, okay, it is really an energy exchange, and perhaps I need to just go through a few to see who resonates with me the best. That'd be some good advice.
Because like I say this thing sometimes to people. It's like, yo, when you get to me, like, I'm the final boss. I'm not saying I'm the best,
boss level,
but I'm like, yo, I'm the final boss. Like,
fair. I believe it.
I'm not gonna like be like, oh, you know, I'm like, no, we're gonna nip this in the bud. Because you made a promise with me. I can feel your energy. Like, I'm ready to work. So we're gonna work. If I'm telling you, or I'm guiding you to say, look, not maybe, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do it with you. We're going to do a 5-day dry fast. But off the back of it, I'm going to prep you for that. I'm not just going to say, tomorrow don't eat. I'm going to see what you eat, see how many times you eat. We'll start lessening it over a period of time. And then we get into the fasting. Then we start introducing the energy healing. So you're just clear so the energy can flow through you and hit where it needs to hit. And then I'm like, I'm doing this with you. Like, we'll fast.
You're fasting now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dry fast.
Yeah.
How long are you doing it for?
That's probably till... What's today? What? Sunday, maybe Wednesday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Tuesday.
And just for our viewers who might not know what that is, what is a dry fast compared to a wet fast?
So dry fast, people might say, oh my God, but you can't do that for that long. You can do what you want. The human body is fully capable of doing any and everything. It can learn to walk from birth. It can learn to re-walk as an adult. It can learn to think, see, smell, all in the process of time. So dry fasting is nothing. Kids be fasting until they're eating solid food till about 6 months.
So that's just like no liquid at all?
No liquid, no food. And just be mindful of what's around you and who is around you. Because if your energy isn't in a good place, it can make the fast so much harder. 2 ways to approach it: be active or don't be active. Whether you're going to just sit down in your house, if you're working, take time off work, just chill, relax, hold a meditation. But if you got to work, be active. Maybe wake up that bit earlier, finish that bit later, so your day gets dragged out and you're not thinking about consuming food.
And then for you personally, why do you dry fast?
Although I eat green, the idea is that, or the reality is that, I'm still in contact with LED lights. Still in contact with fumes on the road, driving, air conditioning. You know, like there might be certain sprays, aftershaves I use. It doesn't mean like I'm holier than thou because I eat green. There are other aspects that come into play. So it's about eliminating those aspects as well. And because I just
the heavy metals.
Exactly. And because I eat fruits, sometimes things they spray on it. Although I try to go organic, but organic don't really exist in this part of the world. They might not spray petrol on your food, but they're still going to spray Vaseline, which is from petrol. Example, they don't spray Vaseline on petrol, but you know what I'm saying? You got
Vaseline on fruit.
Exactly.
I know what you mean, that waxes as well. They do. And then would you say that for you, does dry fasting help you to connect with your clients more and yourself and your own meditation?
Exactly that. Because I knew like I was coming here and I thought, well, I feel like I've been eating a lot, but the thing is I haven't, because I don't eat a lot. But
you told me you ate like 1 meal a day. You showed me what you eat.
Yeah.
So just for our viewers, so Miles, I wouldn't say you're not raw vegan, but you're like 90% raw vegan.
The 10% might
And
be.
you've been that way for how long now?
2 years.
prior to that, I was eating still just fruits and vegetables, but they'll be cooked. People say, oh, you can't cook fruits.
9 out of 10 fruits, 9 out of 10 vegetables, we think of vegetables as fruits. Anything that contains a seed is actually a fruit. It's not a vegetable. So okra, it's a vegetable.
Yeah.
Tomato, it's a vegetable.
Is it a
Avocado.
fruit?
I mean, it's a fruit, sorry. Okra is a fruit.
Yeah.
Tomato is a fruit.
Yeah.
What else is seeds in it? Pineapples, the flowers. Like, you know, there's levels to
Play
this.
with it, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, 2 years, and prior to that, 6 years, 8 years,
Yeah.
just eating
Clean. Yeah.
plant-based.
I remember you being clean, like no meat, I think, was you eating fish at any point?
No.
I don't think you've eaten meat in a minute. Like, since I've known you, you've never eaten any type of animal
Nah.
products or byproduct. The raw thing is relatively new. I don't
Yeah.
remember you eating raw.
Yeah.
And how would you say that's affected your body, your mood? Like, has it drawn you close to the source?
Well, one thing I'll say this.
Go on.
I lost a lot of weight,
Yeah.
but I found out that I was like, I'm much leaner. And then when I'd work out, I'm actually like stronger, because people have this idea that you gotta eat a lot to be strong. Well, the reality is that the strength will always come from what you're pushing in the gym.
True.
Or what you're doing, whether you're doing rock climbing, you're doing hiking, you're doing some sort of air sport, wind sport, water sport. It comes from how many times you apply yourself to that thing, so you'll gradually get stronger anyway. Food just plays a part because it's an energy. We've been eating it for so long, so we require it.
Yeah.
But if you separate yourself from that and still do what you're doing, you can still get the same result, if not better.
Yeah.
So I noticed I started a lot of new things, and I started pushing through boundaries. So I've done one day I did a 7-day dry fast.
Oof.
And I was training with a weight vest on. Every day I'm going gym training. I'm like, I'm doing more pull-ups. I'm lighter. Everything is...
But how did you feel mentally? Did you not feel weak?
You see, for me, I see it like this. When I train hard, because nothing can beat the physical.
Right.
I could be doing a tire lift or a sled pull. I'm like, okay, if this weight can't beat me here, then the reality of life can't beat me. So my mental is so much stronger when I go without eating. Not saying to do it, because I know people are like, oh, this guy. Listen, try it before you knock it.
Yeah.
Because I used to think the same thing.
Yeah.
When my sister said, oh, you shouldn't eat meat. I'm like, all right, here we go. Miss Know-It-All.
Yeah.
You're still eating it,
Yeah.
so I can't listen to you. But she said, I've realised my sister's like, and she's like an unconscious teacher I've had from birth.
Yeah.
She'll always say something to better me. Even though she's not doing it, she wants to generally see me good. And I'm like, bro, like, why is that? But that's just how some people are.
It's true. Some people are like natural givers and healers.
Yeah.
They want the best for other people, but they know their own limitations.
Yeah. And I've realised through her saying certain things to me, I have been able to better myself. So it's like, I'm not saying I owe her anything, but when I'm at more of a bigger space, I'll bless her with something, whatever it is. But she's just like, no, just do you. Like, I'm easy.
Yeah.
I said, all right, cool. Okay, cool.
So then just moving on to, I know we spoke about Reiki, and there's so many different types of healing. I think that's sometimes confuses people. They're like, it's so ambiguous. Like, what is healing? And when people come to you, firstly, how do people find you for healing? Is it just like a word of mouth thing? Is it online? Like, how do people find you?
Mostly it's word of mouth, to tell you the truth. Because if I do something with someone, then they tell a friend. They're like, had this going on with me. No, I don't. Contact Miles. Here's his number.
Yeah. Okay.
But social media, I get quite a bit of people from social media, but a lot of, I want to better myself. Just click the link in the bio. Not being rude, but if 50 people message me a day, it's not I don't have time to concentrate on all 50, but my thing is just awareness, people. Like, just, we're in a space where things are so accessible, so you can look on my bio the same way you've seen that post, come out of the bio and click the link.
And what would you say to someone who is watching this, might think, do you know what, I could do something like this. Like, I could do a Reiki session. I could do just meeting Miles and speaking to Miles, or anybody for that matter who does healing, but they might have like a little bit of doubt. They're not quite sure if it's for them, if it's genuine and stuff. Like, you must have had that before. People get a bit dubious, like what you have to offer. Do you say anything, or do you just like step back and say, do you know what, just come to me when you're ready?
2 ways, depends. Instagram is Miles Healer.
Yeah.
So if they come to me like that,
Yeah.
from the message, you can, pick out key points.
Mm-hmm. And the tone, you can kind of gauge like
I'm ready to start. Oh, but I got work on Tuesday. Cool. Look, like, you just said you're not ready.
Yeah.
Another message. I'm ready to start. What does it consist of? But I've got my doubts. That's a different, because you just said I've got my doubts. I'm ready to start. You're saying Tuesday can't start. Tuesday's message has already failed before they've started.
Yeah.
This one is saying I've just got my doubts because I'm a human being.
Right.
Can you answer some questions? I say cool.
Nice.
I'm not saying I won't work with both, but just pick and choose, because
you can choose. Like, you can always feel energetically who's actually here for the service and genuine about what they want.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. And I know we've spoken about many different types of healing over the years and stuff. One in particular that I first learned about with you was Akashic Records.
Yeah, Akashic Records.
And Akashic Record, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And I remember we spoke about this years ago when it wasn't such a broadly spoken about topic as it is now. Just for our viewers who are watching this, what is Akashic Records to you, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Have you been able to tap into it? And just what is it? Because even I'm a little bit like, I get it, but the vastness of it, it almost like explodes my brain a little bit. So can you maybe help our viewers to understand what is Akashic Records?
So just like keep it simple.
Please.
Explaining to a 2-year-old. You're not straight explaining to a 1-year-old.
Go on.
So it's simply, we're all alive. We all have an existence. Whatever we're doing goes into a record. Like when we're born.
Yeah.
We have birth certificates. Some of us do, some of us don't. It's a record of what has gone on in that process.
Okay.
Sometimes on the birth certificate, it may have notes, prior notes, not on the birth certificate itself. What happened during the pregnancy, the build-up, midwife, then on the birth certificate, it might say father, mother, job role, name, place of birth, whatever. So the records are a non-physical, I don't want to go too mad and people, what's he talking about? It's a non-physical book of data that every individual has stored about them.
Right.
You got your physical self, you got your higher self. Your higher self is what tends to guide you when you tend to listen to the energy. The higher self can be disconnected from you if you choose to live a life of, I ain't listen to no guidance from anyone but myself, but it is you, but just in a higher form, higher reality. It's like seeing life from a helicopter. You can see 3 blocks down because you're in a helicopter. That's what your higher self is. You can see the route you can take. All ways and forms you can take.
Different outcomes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And boom, that is who accesses your records. Because it's you through lifetimes in this lifetime. As a energy healer or a reader, if I connect to my higher self, connects to your higher self, we can access those records, see what's going on in your life, what makes you you, how does this make you you, what's led up to this being you. And if there was another individual who had an issue, mental illness, physical illness, how did that come about? Genetics, epigenetics, happened in the present, is it something they're doing, eating, reading, breathing? It gets stored. So I can say, for James, the cure is right there.
Yeah.
Because we can see what the build up to the cure, to the issue was.
Yeah.
So he might just need to just cut out doing something at any set time.
Okay. And that's what it allows us to do. So it's almost like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like going back into a database, like a puzzle, and working out how a person's reality, what led to the person's reality today, by going, is it in the past or is it future as well? It's just
whole
up unto that point.
Yeah, up to that point.
And it's like everything has happened in the person's life, but also could have happened. Like the different, whatever road they took, what that reality looked like, is held in one massive database. Sorry. Okay, I think I get it.
That's layman terms. I don't want to go too technical.
Deeper than that, but yeah, I always kind of wondered what it actually was. It's very similar to, I'm guessing, how people do ancestral healing, because they have to kind of travel back. And it's so, I was watching a video about it the other day, and it's like, there's so much about our ancestry that we'll just never know.
Yeah.
And like, there are some people who have like their ancestry all laid out for them. They know who their great grandparents are.
Yeah.
But if you think about like, go way back into your ancestry and all the things that are not learned, but like that come through you. So like DNA isn't just the physical, it's like the metaphysical too, and that's like passed down and passed, and it keeps pulling down. So something that happened like ancestors ago, we're talking like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, in your lineage, could still be trickling down to you today. Like it could be a way of thinking, way of feeling, your mannerisms, anything. Like not just like physical, like hair being, you know, black and eyes being brown, but like actual tendencies, characteristics can come all the way down from your ancestors. And I read that, you know, a person like yourself who can do ancestral healing can literally go way, way back to see what could be preventing you from achieving something by going back in your ancestral lineage and then, oh, boom, at that point, something happened, or that's how they were used to doing things, and you just got to break that cycle. Is that what it is, right?
Exactly, because it's like exactly, you are your ancestors' dream, and at the same time you are your ancestors. How do you know what your ancestors look like? Look in the mirror, or look in the phone. There's those eyes come from somewhere.
Amazing.
Your ears, your hair. It's not just a coincidence. Like you wasn't put together from mum and dad, grandparents. It's no, it's way back.
It's way, way, way back.
Why is someone tall? Why is someone short? Why is someone stronger than someone else? The genetics has come from somewhere. Like we got terabytes of data in us. Like
our DNA stores so much, and I think it's hard for people to sometimes understand that it's more than just the physical. You know, it's more than just the physical, how we come out, but also what we pass down. And I think, because I've been thinking a lot about recently, just how to put this, but like the vastness of things, and I think that can sometimes stop people from delving into subjects like this because it's so broad. It can almost like blow your mind a little bit. And I sometimes think about just the vastness of everything. I'm a very like, oh my god, like how big it is. Like the other day I was saying to my partner, we were talking about the Amazon, just to give you context and an example. And we often travel around the UK and we like looking at sites, and we like going to coastlines and like looking at the vastness of like a sea, just from what you can see up to your peripheral vision. And I remember thinking and having a convo with him, and he was saying, well, we were discussing the fact that the UK in comparison to the Amazon is minute. And we think the Amazon is relative, it is big. I mean, for the size of us, it's really big, but like I researched it, and 22 or 22.5 or whatever it is of the UK's fit into the Amazon rainforest alone. Just deep that.
And that's what they know.
That's what they know. Just deep that, like 22 of the UK's. That's like...
Exactly.
It's huge.
That's what I'm saying.
It can fit into this part of America, and it can fit into the Amazon rainforest. And the majority of the rainforest is undiscovered.
It's like the human mind.
Right? So when I thought about the vastness of that, and then the vastness of the earth itself, and the vastness of going back to the Akashic records, and the vastness of it all, that's enough to put you to sleep. To blow your mind a little bit,
because
you know?
people can't think that we don't have the ability to fast for 5 days. If
Why
there's
is that?
people, it's disbelief. It's like, no, I don't believe him, I don't believe her. It's look, like you said, the Amazon rainforest, 22.5 times. The UK can fit into the Amazon rainforest 22.5 times. So, and it's undiscovered. That's like the human mind. I've heard people say we use a certain percentage,
like 10%,
5%. Most people it's 2%.
Wow.
Probably 1%. But you see, people just aren't like aware of what they can do. They look at food's there, we must eat. Work's there, we must work. Bed's there, we must sleep. Car's there, we must drive. Okay, look outside the car. What more can the car do? The car's a sat nav. The car has wind wipers. The car has a belt. It has an engine. It has a system. It has a ecosystem. There's so many things within us that we haven't explored. So when people think we can't fast, it's like fasting is very mild compared to what we can do. From we can build things, rebuild planes, electrical devices, phones, cell phones, you know, all these things have the ability of what we can do internally. That's how we create them. It's our kids. We're just producing them in a electrical format, you know, like, so we can do all these things. Cell phones, cells in our body, communicating telepathically, picking up a phone, calling someone. Well, it's the same, but one's with a phone and one's just doing it telepathically. You know, before phones exist, what was we doing? So, you know, we ain't even, you know,
send them on a pigeon in a bottle. I don't know.
And then you got telepathy. We haven't explored anything of the human body, man.
So what you're saying is that how we know of our physical form today, there's way much more to be explored of it. In a nutshell, there's so much more to us to dive into that we just don't know about. And similar to the Amazon rainforest, there's so much of ourselves that's undiscovered.
Exactly.
And I think perhaps we're the generation that's like awakening to that. We'll understand, okay, there's a bit more to decode here. There's a lot more to learn about ourselves than we've been taught. And I think a lot of us are kind of like taking off these like rose-colored glasses and like really seeing ourselves for what we are and what we can become. And it's a great transformation to be a part of.
Exactly.
And just to kind of like help wrap up, and is there anything else that you want to share about just in terms of like what you offer, what you would suggest to someone who's watching this and again who's just interested in healing?
I would say first thing you could do, maybe message me on Instagram.
Where can people find you?
So Instagram, Miles Healer. I've got a website, but Instagram's better. It's just you know, people feel like more formal, know you through that. Like, oh yeah, shit, is this what you do? Like, and you want to understand what it is I do. I'm just about bringing an individual to the best version of them, helping them see that they can heal themselves, no matter what they're going through. If you lose an arm or a leg, I can't help you grow that back. That's we can grow that back, but I don't know. You know,
you're not there yet.
I ain't there yet, and I ain't trying to go missing. But bring a person back to the best version of themselves. That is what I do. Whether it's through meditation, eating habits, how your life is, what you do on a day-to-day, who you have around you. I'm about removing all the nonsense and just be online, be on track for a year, 6 months to a year. That's all I'm asking for. Forget all the, I'm going to miss out in summer, it's like, you know, Vibes Cartel's out. I want to just be easy, Just 1 year I'm asking you to just sit down and shut up.
Change so much.
That's it. And then we can get on the path, get to where you want to get to, but don't relapse because you want to do greater things and you want to keep expanding generational wealth and all of that. So
Okay. And then what other stories that I have for you? I think we covered pretty much everything. This convo could go on forever, which you know I love. But I do have something new to introduce. So typically at the end of our sessions, also you do like a roundup and I'll just ask you to like tell the audience where they can find you. However, Bodney City have produced some cards.
Oh, okay.
We're not gonna play chess. We're not gonna play chess. We're not gonna play like Snap or anything or blackjack.
Cool.
They just got some questions on there. They're completely random, and I just want you to pick a card, read me the question, or I can read you the question, which is easier, and then you just have to answer it. It's as simple as that. Is that okay? Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so I've shuffled it for you. You maybe can shuffle yourself, and then you can pick a card.
I think this card is. So, shall I read it or?
Go for it. You can read it out. It could be about anything. It's just a card of questions on it.
All right. So is that to me or?
It's going to be to you.
Okay.
So the card says, what is a challenge you're facing right now?
Oh, that's easy. Knowing when to just accept people for where they're at right now.
Okay. Why is that a challenge for you?
Because my thing is, someone can come to me with an issue and I'm like, it's so easy to get over this. Or someone will say something and I'm like, what, like, why do you see life like that? Like, you know the answer, but it's like you choose to be unaware. So it's about me just allowing people to have their time and go through what they need to go through before I'm like, look, do X, Y, and Z. If they haven't asked for that, because then it becomes unsolicited advice. Like, someone could say, you know what I do day in, day out. You know how I eat. Someone will say something like, oh, I think, you know, bread upsets my stomach. Shouldn't eat wheat anyway. But it's letting them figure that out, even though you know the answer. It's just like, Miles.
So basically you're saying that you don't want to be in the position to tell someone what to do. You're not there to instruct somebody.
I'm here to guide you when you're ready for the guidance. Because outside of that, it becomes unsolicited advice. And that's one thing. It's not a challenge, but it's one thing I've accepted now as of last week. Just
hold your tongue.
People are people. Let me just
let them be.
Let them be. You drive without a seatbelt. If you crash, you may go through the windscreen. But let me let you figure that out. Even though it's as common sense can be, not everyone's awareness is there. So I'll just sit in meditation and say, cool, I'm going to meditate till you're ready.
Amazing. Good. Thank you. Do you have any roundup notes for us?
Stay healthy. Enjoy life. Don't need to stress.
Yeah.
Life is easy. It's not hard. We just choose to make it hard all the time. And don't allow anyone to trick you out of your position.
Love that.
If someone annoys you, you've allowed yourself to get annoyed.
I think I just take the one
Yeah.
and digest the one.
Yeah.
I'm easily annoyed.
It's just communicate. You communicate.
Yeah.
Everything is easy.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much.
No, that's cool.
I really enjoyed that conversation.
Same.
Bringing it to life.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. And to our viewers today, thank you so much for joining us on Body in the City Goes Digital. As mentioned, I'm here with Miles, the New Age Healer, and you can find where to find Miles all in the bio and descriptions below. As per usual, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time on Body in the City. Bye.
Peace out.